welcome to House Edge. Before we start the episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. And check us out on Twitter, TikTok, and Discord at House Edge Bet. Links down below. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to House Edge. How you doing, Bert?
Doing good. Had an amazing NFL week, but that college football week, brother, minus 4 units.
I want to congratulate you on being the first to do an 0-4 and a 4-0 on the pod.
Yeah, and I would have had a 5-0 in the NFL if the Bears didn't doink a kick and that entire game didn't have 10 points in the second half. I mean, we're going into halftime. The score is 17-14. I'm thinking, this is easy. I'm getting the over 41 easily. They put up 10 points in the entire second half, and it pushes.
Yeah, I mean, a push is better than a loss.
That's true. Give me my money back.
Oh, man. And for me, I went 3-2 in the NFL, 2-2, and in college football.
That's overall positive.
Positive day overall. I'll take it.
We always take green. No matter how small the green is, we take green. Yep. But we had a wild game wild week in the NFL. The Dolphins broke the trend. Finally, the trend is broken. Honestly, in the second half, I thought they were going to come back. I thought they were going to pull it off. Yeah. But Tua, did you see that toss that he had? I think it was on third down, right before the fourth down, where he fumbled the snap, where he just underthrew his wide open receiver. I think it was Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, so many missed opportunities for the Dolphins.
They could have done it.
They're not able to make the clutch plays against these good teams.
Yeah, I do not trust them against a good team. When they make the playoffs, I have them out in the first round.
Yeah, it's really looking that way.
It looks inevitable.
And CJ Stroud, this man's been a straight baller throughout this season. Throws 5 touchdowns to beat the Bucks. That Texans-Bucks game might be the game of the year.
For real.
Fourth quarter.
Incredible. And CJ Stroud is clutch, man. Like, he was throwing dimes the entire game down the field. Like, this is a rookie we're talking about. It's his first year in the NFL, learning a new system, playing against the pros for the first time. And he's making it look easy. He can be a star, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he might honestly already be a star.
Yeah.
The way he's just going in and changed, because the Texans were bad last year.
Yes, they were terrible. They were terrible. And CJ Stroud has turned the franchise around. I mean, he's making Noah Brown look like a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, man. I didn't have the Texans being relevant on my bingo card this year.
They might even make the playoffs if he keeps this up. I'm not kidding. They might make the playoffs as a wild card or something, a 7th seed.
Yeah, definitely. They'll definitely be in the hunt for that last 7th spot.
And honestly, if the Jags do fall off the next couple of weeks, I know their schedule is going to get harder as, finishing the number 1 seed last year. They're going to have to play the other number 1 seeds in the conferences where they only play 1 game against each team. And they could get some losses where the Texans are going to play the worst team in every conference from last year. And by conference, I'm sorry, I mean division.
Yeah. I don't think the Jags will. They're the truth.
Too good,
right? They'll make the playoffs. The AFC South is theirs.
AFC South is theirs. You heard it here first. Get your slips in. But yeah, the Ravens, bro, I told you that point differential can't be for nothing. These guys, like, their defense is playing fantastic. They shut Geno Smith down. They shut the entire Seahawks offense down. And the running threat of Lamar just makes that offense so dynamic. You don't know who you have to defend.
Yeah, I'm sitting at home watching Red Zone, and I'm like, okay, I already know the Seattle ticket is done because I haven't seen Seattle take a snap.
On offense, right? Yeah.
We're like 2 quarters into all the games, and I haven't seen Seattle yet. That's probably a bad sign.
Not a single snap. Yeah, that's when you know.
So that's twice this year I've put my money against the Ravens. Twice they've gone out there and blown out the team.
Yeah, it
I'm
wasn't
definitely
even
gonna stay away
close.
from betting them for a minute.
Yeah, I'm actually taking the Ravens this week. They've proven me wrong. I think I'm coming out and saying it. The Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now.
No, the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. The Eagles can beat you too many ways.
But can't the Ravens do the same thing with Lamar?
Let's see Lamar sit back and just drop
Throw in
back
the
for
pocket,
second
yeah.
quarter.
Let's see if he can play from behind.
Or just the playoffs, normal system in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean he's always had good regular seasons, right? But when it comes to playoff time, the Ravens just shit the bed usually.
Yeah, man. And Jalen Hurts has proven he's done it in college and on this Super Bowl run last year.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts can easily get back to the Super Bowl, no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah. That's another future people. Well, we already told people to put the Eagles.
Yep, that's your future. I told them the Cowboys. I hope you didn't listen to me. I mean, that game was close, though. If they didn't have a meltdown in the fourth quarter, the Cowboys could have won that.
Cowboys will always be in the games.
Yep, and they'll always melt down in the fourth quarter. You can count on that. Yeah, we got the Josh Dobbs trade to the Vikings. The man comes in middle of the week, has no idea what plays he's running, improvises, and gets the W for the Vikings. Round of applause for Josh Dobbs, honestly. He's already proven on a brand new team that he's a better quarterback than Zach Wilson is with 2 years on the Jets. It's pathetic, man.
Oh, man. Zach Wilson shade. But yes, Josh Dobbs was amazing. This man has to get a contract.
Give him a starting NFL job, man. He's better than...
the journeyman time is over.
He's better than enough quarterbacks in the league to have a job. He's better than Zach Wilson. He's better than Daniel Jones. I just named 2 New York teams that he's better than. He might... we're going to see when Kyler's back this week.
He's better than Baker.
Better than Baker. I think he might be better than Kyler in terms of decision making and turnovers.
You sleeping on Kyler? No way.
I might be sleeping on Kyler, but we'll see when he comes back this week.
Yes, that's another big news. Kyler's been activated. He's going to be playing this week.
No more Call of Duty.
We're all excited to see what that brings back out.
Yeah, I hope they keep losing so my future hits.
Yeah.
They can only get 3 wins.
I mean, that's a good start. We're here in week 10. They got 1 win, and Kyler's coming back. I mean, that's exactly what we could have hoped for.
Exactly. Yeah. And the 1 win is against the freaking Cowboys, man. What a tragedy. But yeah, we got some college news. Alabama, LSU. Alabama just showed they were the better team, dude.
Yeah, that was a great game. I'm gonna be honest, I was paying more attention to the Washington game.
Me too. But I saw the Alabama game was close most of the time, and then I think in the second half, third, fourth quarter, they just pulled away. They got that 2-touchdown lead and never looked back.
Yeah, it looked like towards the end they really took a hold of that game. Nick Saban, better coaching.
Yeah. I saw at post game, he went up to one of the players who transferred out of Alabama to LSU, and he told him, "You would have played more if you stayed." That's funny, man. That's classic Saban trolling. That guy probably feels like a dummy for leaving.
Yeah, man. But it sounds like it'll be hard to play for Alabama.
Yeah,
it's a lot of stress.
Don't know if that would have been true if he actually did stay with Alabama, but. It is what it is.
Definitely hindsight,
Yeah, hindsight is always 2020. But yeah, the game of the week in college, and maybe the game of the year so far this year. That Washington USC game was so entertaining. After my terrible college football day, I put all my losings on Washington money line, and I got it all back, baby.
You're great.
I was going double or nothing.
Definitely one of the best games of the year. Michael Penix put on a show. Caleb put on a show. But yeah, that USC defense still just can't show up.
Abysmal.
You just gotta make a couple plays. Make a couple plays.
Yeah. They cannot stop any offense. It doesn't matter if it's, I mean, they couldn't stop Arizona's offense. They couldn't stop, who'd they play last week? Who did USC play last week? It wasn't that good of a team either.
It wasn't. They had a tune-up.
Yeah. And I mean, they can't even stop mediocre offenses. You think they're going to stop what I think is probably the highest powered offense in college football with Michael Penix at quarterback? Come on now. That was one of the easiest wagers of the year.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Gotta love taking that money. But yeah, we went through the records this week. I think we're going undefeated this week, right? No shot we're losing a single bet.
I've learned recently, don't be saying words like perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
No jinx.
I mean, I said our NFL card was good last week, and we only had 2 total losses out of 10 plays. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good card. Gave you guys some winners for once. But yeah.
We're heating up in NFL.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I feel very confident in my NFL picks this week. Right? We have lots of data to go off of. I mean, the good teams are proving themselves apart from the bad teams. Right? I just hope they keep it up and don't turn on me. But yeah, moving on to those NFL plays, we actually have no common plays for, I think, the first show so far. We actually have a couple conflicting plays once we'll get further into the card. But my first play is the Indianapolis Colts. They didn't let me down last week, and I don't think they're going to let me down this week. 1.5 point favorites against the New England Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are an abysmal team, man. They lost to the Commanders at home this week. They're just not going to be able to keep up with Indianapolis, just like how Indianapolis ran the score up on the Panthers this week.
Yeah, I love this play. Mac Jones is just not it. Bill Belichick needs at least a new change of scenery.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts have been in much better form than the Patriots, and they honestly have a better roster as well. Great play here.
Yep. I obviously I live in New England and Massachusetts, and so when I'm riding with my coworkers to get lunch, sometimes one of them always has the Patriots radio playing in his car, right? What I heard them talking about this last week was trading Bill Belichick.
To who?
Exactly. Who's going to take him? I don't know. I feel like he just needs to retire.
What's the trade value there?
There's no trade value. Yeah.
But trade? No.
You shouldn't be trading coaches in the NFL. No team should be trading for a coach, in my opinion. He's just they got to move on from Bill Belichick. They got to completely rebuild that roster, different mentality, different everything. Start from scratch.
Or at very least, he needs to be fired as GM, and they need better draft picks.
Yeah, simply put. Mac Jones is not the answer. But yeah, moving on. Next play, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I alluded to this. 6-point favorites against the Browns. I think the Browns are a worse team than the Seahawks that they just blew out by about 30 points, right? They'll easily put up 20 extra points on the Browns. I don't think the Browns have a reliable quarterback, and the Ravens defense is going to take advantage of that.
I take the Ravens to win this game. 6 points is just a little too much for me. That Browns defense, in an NFC North game, AFC North game, they'll be ready to go. I don't know if it'll be a 6-point margin.
They do see them twice a year.
And they already blew out. The Ravens already blew the Browns out once this year. I don't think the Browns are going to come out ready.
If they blew them out once this year, that makes me more confident, brother.
It's hard to beat people twice.
It is hard to beat people twice, but we're talking about the Browns, man, right? And I feel like the Browns offense is much less high powered than when they played them earlier this year. I believe Nick Chubb was still healthy when they first played. I believe Deshaun Watson was looking a little bit better than he is now. Is he even playing? Is Deshaun playing?
He played last week.
I still think the Ravens defense is going to get the best of Deshaun. Like, just how you say the Browns will get 2 chances at the Ravens will now get 2 chances at Deshaun Watson, who looks like half the person he was 2 years ago, right?
Okay, we'll have to see.
We'll see what happens.
I think 6 is too many points to take on.
It's a good amount of points, but I mean, we said that about 5.5 with Seattle last week, didn't we? They won by 30. But yeah, another 6.5 point favorite, actually. My Cincinnati Bengals, they're back. Rob, they're back. Joey Burrow is back. The whole offense is back. Cam Taylor-Britt is a shutdown corner. This is a Super Bowl team. Straight up. This team can get to the Super Bowl this year if they keep playing like this.
This team could get to the Super Bowl. You're definitely
They just have to beat the Chiefs.
Gotta
beat the Chiefs. That's it.
Gotta beat the Chiefs.
We beat them 3 out of the last 4 times. Got to do it 1 out of the 2 times this year. Lose the regular season game, dude. Give them some confidence, you know? And then go beat them in the playoffs.
Where's the regular season game at?
I think it's in Kansas City. Let me make sure.
I mean, that could be nice. You get 2 shots.
Games in Kansas City. Yeah, 2 shots at Arrowhead. I give us the win one of those 2 times. I just hope it's the second one. Or I hope the Chiefs lose a bunch of games before then and we get to host them at Paycor.
I think that's less likely.
I agree. I think that's much less likely. Yeah, I just think the Bengals have the Chiefs number unlike any other team in the league. What other team has a 75% win rate in the last 2 years against the Chiefs? Nobody. Not a single team in the last 3 years, sorry. So, but yeah, moving on to the actual play against the Texans. Against the Texans, I mean, you saw the Texans defense last week against Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. Doesn't look very good. The Bengals have a much better defense than the Texans have. I think they'll be able to beat them by over a touchdown.
Yeah, they should be able to beat them by over a touchdown. I think it's going to be a good game, but the Bengals are much farther and they're developed as a squad than the Texans. It's a great matchup. And
they got it together now, right? The beginning of the year, something was off. Everybody was confused. What the hell is wrong with the Bengals? It just took until that San Francisco game. Joey B in his last 3 games, I think, has above a 75% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Do you know the last quarterback to do that?
No.
Mr. Peyton Manning in his 2013 MVP run.
Hey, I like that run. That was a good run.
That was a good run with your Indianapolis Colts. Joey B, if he keeps this up, he's going to be the MVP. And I cashed out of my Joey B MVP slip, by the way, for like 30 cents.
I think Tua's making a great case for MVP. Even though, but now they haven't beat any good teams. They're not going to beat any good teams.
If they start to beat new teams, Tua will win the MVP. If not, if Joey B keeps this up with the schedule coming up, let me see who the Bengals are playing again. They're playing at the Ravens, at the Jaguars, hosting the Vikings, at the Chiefs. If he keeps this up for those games and keeps beating them like he beat the Bills and the 49ers, he's the MVP. Straight up. You could argue Jalen Hurts, I think, is the only other person.
And Lamar. You just said he's the quarterback of the best team in football.
I agree with you, yes. If Lamar keeps it up, if Lamar beats the Bengals for a second time this year, he's MVP.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Next play. This is a fade of one of the worst teams in football. Raiders plus 1.5 against the Jets. The interim head coach that the Ravens picked up, he is a player's coach, right? When you find a player's coach in the NFL, I feel like that's an underrated team. The Ravens absolutely blew out. I think who'd they play this week? Was it the Giants?
Yeah, they blew out the Giants.
Yeah, they blew out the Giants. Daniel Jones, unfortunate, tore his ACL in his first game back. We got Tommy DeVito starting at quarterback. Maybe he'll get on the positive side of passing yards this week.
You gotta feel bad for the Giants.
It's tough being a New York football fan right now, man. It is tough. Both New York football teams did not put up a touchdown this week.
Wow. Okay.
And if you watch the end of that Jets game, you saw CJ Uzama just completely drop a ball that hit him right here, right in the chest in the end zone. It bounced right off his chest.
That would have made a difference. They got blown out.
It wouldn't. My under still would have hit on that game, even if he caught that. What a poverty franchise. But yeah, Ravens, they're getting plus points too. Easy bet for me. Zach Wilson is not him.
Yeah, this is a great play. I was leaning the Jets just because of that defense, and I really don't trust the Raiders' offense. But it's a toss-up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets, I almost bet them this last Monday night, right? Standalone games, I usually try to put a wager in. Then I thought, it's the fucking Jets, man. Right? I took the Bears at 8.5 plus 8.5 last week against the Chargers, and that was just straight donation. I didn't want to donate again with the Jets this week. Took the under. It was a play. But
yeah, I unfortunately did take a bite of that Jets apple.
Don't take any more bites, man. That apple's poisonous.
It wasn't good.
Oh man. Yeah, but my last play, I'm continuing to go with the high-powered offense of the Saints. They showed me in the first half that they can put up points last week against the Bears. I think the Vikings have a worse defense than the Bears, and also Josh Dobbs with 2 weeks under the system, he's gonna be much more acclimated to the offense, and I think he's gonna put more points on the board than he already did last week. Over 41 is my play in this game.
Yeah, I think this is a good play. There'll definitely be some points flowing. With the Saints playing against a Vikings defense that can allow some points.
Yeah. I mean, we saw, who did the Vikings play this week? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. This past week, the Falcons, bro. They gave up 28 points to the Falcons, who don't even know how to use Bijan Robinson. Like, come on, man.
Tyler Heineke was starting.
Derek Carr is better than Taylor Heineke. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Over 41 also, that's one of those low totals that the NFL has been going with this year, which for a good reason, right? When the Jets and the Giants play, that is an under for me almost every single time, because I don't trust that team to put up any points. I saw something that something on Twitter. It was teams and their average yards per first possession of the game. The Jets are averaging 6.6 yards on their first possession.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're the only team under 10 yards on their first possession for the entire year. They're averaging 6.6 yards, man.
That's actually ridiculous.
Abysmal.
That's just not Rodgers. Like, that's more than no Rodgers.
The whole offensive scheme is off here, right? You got to have some sort of a plug and play system. Like, you can't depend on Aaron Rodgers to run your entire offense.
Yeah.
Even though it seems Green Bay did for a while.
I thought it was going to work, but he's a lot older now.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that's my plays, Rob. What do you got?
Okay, so let's go over some of my plays. I have the Panthers plus 3.5 versus the Bears. I think that this is a great spot for Bryce Young to bounce back from his abysmal 3-interception day. And the Bears are still going to be starting, Heisman D2. So I don't really trust the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Bagent, whatever you want to call him, man. Bryce is a better quarterback for the future, right? Panthers, I think they're the worst team in this, but 3.5 points is a lot for two pretty evenly matched teams, right? I like that you're taking the points here.
Yeah. This Panther team, they have a little bit of defense as well. So I think they can hold off anything from the Bears offense.
Oh, yeah. Panthers defense is better than the Bears defense, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they've proven that.
Though Montez Sweat has been proving to be already a good signing for the Bears. Made a crucial sack in that last game.
I saw today that Chase Young found out through social media that he was traded. The Commanders didn't even call him. I don't like that. I don't like that. Rude. Yeah, you got to have some professionalism. Call the guy that you're firing or trading away.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. But hey, that's the NFL. It's a business.
It is a business. They made a business decision.
And this is also a business decision. I'm going to take the 49ers -3 versus the Jags. I think Jags are one of the better teams in the NFL, but this is a spot where they're going to run into a 49ers team coming off 2 losses, a bye. This is a get-right game for them.
Yep.
I don't
back to full strength.
I don't see any way that the 49ers let this game slip away from them. So I'm going to take this for 3.5.
Yep. Deebo Samuel, full participant at practice on Monday this week. He had no limitations according to the reporter who reported this. I like this, right? People think the 49ers, they've lost 2 straight. They've lost their mojo. If they didn't lose those 2 games, this is more of like a -6 for them, right?
Yeah.
I think they easily cover this 3, especially with Trent and Deebo back. If Trent is back, I'm not sure about that.
Back at full strength. Brock Purdy can just go back to being the game manager.
Exactly.
Just doing his job.
Just don't get any concussions. That's it. And keep your head on your shoulders.
Next play is Steelers -3.5 versus the Green Bay Packers. I think the Steelers pass defense will be able to cause trouble for Jordan Love. So this is going to be a low-scoring affair. It's definitely something that the Steelers can squeak out and win.
Yeah, I had the Titans last week against the Steelers, and the Steelers just keep proving us wrong, right? Outperforming the expectations. You think it's a garbage team, but if you look on the other side, you have Green Bay, who's probably the worst or second worst team in the league currently. So I think this is a good spot for the Steelers to take a win by about a touchdown over them.
Yeah. Definitely can see this being a Steelers win by a touchdown. Green Bay is one of those sneaky bad teams. They haven't been getting blown out crazy, but
Jordan Love is not him.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Great couple first weeks.
Yeah,
great couple
first weeks. That's it. Just stop the season right there.
2 weeks, I'm done.
Yeah.
All-star.
Oh boy.
Oh man. And for my next play, I'm taking a play off this Texans-Cincinnati game. Over 48 for the Texans-Cincinnati. I think this is a game where there's going to be points flowing. CJ Stroud is going to do another great performance. We already know what Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase is going to do. I can easily see this being, a 30-18 game, something like that.
Yeah, that'll get you right at 48 points. It's just 48 for me is just a little bit high with how the NFL has been going this year, right? But you do have 2 of the teams that have been putting up numbers the last couple weeks, right? As long as those offenses don't turn the ball over, I can see this easily going over 48.
Yeah, I think they'll be in a spot where Cincinnati will be winning this game easily, and CJ Stroud has to throw to keep it to the game, and we can see some more points.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I like this play.
Thanks. And lastly, I have the Commanders +6 versus the Seahawks. Sam Howell, sometimes he's bad, sometimes he's good. This is a good spot for him. I don't think that the Seahawks offense is going to put on too much demand of them to have to put up crazy points. So I'll take the Commanders at +6.
Yeah, +6 is way too many points for a game that's probably going to end like 20-17, right? It's the Seahawks. You got to get your money back from them last week. That was absolutely abysmal. This team just cannot play against some of the better teams, and I think the Commanders are good enough to where they're going to keep the game closer than 6 points. 6 points is way too many.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for our NFL plays. Burke took over Colts -1.5 versus the Patriots. Ravens -6 versus the Browns. Bengals -6.5 versus the Texans. Raiders +1.5 versus the Jets. And the over 41 on the Saints-Vikings game. I have the Panthers +3.5. 49ers -3. Steelers -3.5 versus Green Bay. The over 48 on the Texans and Cincinnati game, and Commanders +6 versus the Seahawks.
Yep. Good card. I mean, I don't disagree with any of your picks. The only one I probably wouldn't take is the over 48 in Texas, Cincinnati, but I would tail you on all the others.
Same to your card. I'll take everything on your card. The Bengals is a little too high.
You didn't like the Ravens that much either.
Browns.
Yeah, the Ravens won. Yep. I think the Bengals will win by a touchdown. Ravens are a little bit spicier. I'll still take them though. Moving on. College football game of the year for Penn State. We said that against Ohio State, but this one's even more important because fuck Michigan, man. But you're on the other side of this. This is our conflicting play of the week. I have Penn State +5.5. You have Michigan -5.5. I think instead of going to the books, we just place this wager with each other.
I'm definitely down to place the wager with each other. I already have -4.5. Let me think about the W.
It's better for you.
Yes, but yeah, so definitely shop around for this. I found it on -4.5 on Monday. I couldn't find that Tuesday. It seems like to move to 5.5, but I think this is probably a line that's gonna move back to that original 6-7 that it started on the look ahead.
This might be the most bet game of the week this week.
Oh yeah, definitely. It'll definitely be one of the most bet games of the week. But yeah, Penn State Nation, do not disown me. But I will be taking Michigan this week because I just
business decision.
It's just we haven't been able to beat the good teams. Even taking the points, I think Michigan's gonna win, and Michigan's gonna win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, I must say the metrics, the history, the facts, they're on your side here. I'm taking a homer bet. I'm hoping Penn State can save their season, pull off an upset. I'm going to have the money line as well this game. I'm not giving that out as a play. I'm giving out +5.5, but I will have the money line as well.
Yeah, it really came down to me. We're just not able to make enough big plays out of the passing game. And, we're not going to run. I don't think we're going to be able to just run the ball down Michigan. That's one of their defense's best assets.
Yeah.
I found interesting stat I found is Drew Aller. He has 40 plays over 15 yards and 12 over 25. When we compare that to the other guys in the conference, JJ, who we're playing this week, has 65 over 15 and 17 over 25. McCord has 58 over 15 and 23 over 25. And we can say, okay, maybe they're better passers. I think we both would agree that Jalen Milroe of Alabama is a worse passer than Drew Aller. He has 49 and 24. We simply do not create enough big plays to beat big teams.
I don't blame Drew as much as I blame our receiving core. We don't have one of the better receiving cores that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have players like Jahan Dotson. I remember Allen Robinson. Man, we've had some great wide receivers come through Penn
Yeah, we
State.
were wide receiver U for a minute.
Oh yeah, until LSU produced Jamar and Justin Jefferson on the same team. I still can't believe that's a thing. I still can't believe they were on opposite sides of the field playing against college players.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
with
LSU
Joe
is
Burrow throwing the
always
football.
kind of been wide receiver U. They did have Odell and count.
Yep. And Joe Burrow was throwing them that football, man. Still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Penn State. You got Michigan. I still hope Penn State wins, and I better hope that you.
I hope that Penn State wins. I will be rooting for Penn State.
Yeah, you're paying for a Penn State win here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. All right, next play, I got Minnesota 1.5 point underdogs against Purdue. I think this is going to be a really low scoring game again. Minnesota proved that they can fight back last week, and they got the win barely against, I believe it was, I was watching that game too, but I'm forgetting who was Illinois. Oh, they did not get the win. I'm sorry. Illinois with the last second touchdown. But they proved that they can get down the field. They can score. And I think Purdue's a worse team than Illinois, honestly.
Yeah, I like this bet. I think Minnesota, defense will carry them. Purdue hasn't really shown anything too great.
Right. They just got blown out by Michigan. Kind of hung over from that. I think Minnesota's going to be able to pull off a tight win against them. Not very confident in this play, but you got to give out something, right? But yeah, next play, we got another conflicting play. I have Tennessee to win this game by over 2 points against Missouri. I'm kind of hesitant on this play because Tennessee has absolutely blown out all the bad teams that they played this year and kind of struggled against the good teams that they played this year. Missouri is one of those better teams, but I think they just have too high-powered of an offense. I don't think Missouri's going to be able to slow them down enough.
Yeah, I think Missouri. I would take the Missouri side. That offense is going to be great. Yeah,
we just have differing opinions in college football this week, it seems.
Yeah, it's a tough week.
It is. My last play, I got Ole Miss 10.5 point underdogs against UGA. I'm actually going to take the money line too. I think this is the one game that UGA loses during the regular season, and they're going to run the rest of the slate. They're going to win the championship too.
So I think 10.5 is definitely a doable number. I don't know if they'll win. Georgia just looks too strong. They have looked, there is some vulnerabilities without Brock Brower being there, but
they're still the best team in college football. There's no doubt. Michigan is the only, Michigan is the only argument you could make against them. We'll see. They kind of have to beat us in their first big test of the year.
Yeah, for sure. But I like this play taking the points.
All right. Who else you got other than Michigan, Rob?
Yeah, so I have Kansas -3.5 versus Texas Tech. I'm just taking Kansas on the quality wins over Oklahoma, and I haven't seen much from Texas Tech, so we're locking that in.
Yeah, Kansas. I mean, this is like a Cinderella year for them. They're making their fans happy. I'm sure the players are happy about that. They're gonna want to take it to Texas Tech.
Yeah, for sure. I also have Washington State versus Cal. I'm taking a previously ranked good team versus a bad Cal team. I don't really see why this line is so close. So yeah, I'm taking Washington State.
I'm tailing you on this. I cannot believe Washington State is plus money against Cal, which is arguably one of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah, like Washington State has had some rocky moments, but not Cal rocky.
Yeah, Washington State played Oregon State very close earlier this year, and they're in the top 15 right now.
Exactly.
I'm tailing you there for sure.
And lastly, I have Maryland -2.5 versus Nebraska. I think Maryland bounces back on offense after losing to Penn State. And this Nebraska team hasn't really shown much on offense. And I don't think that defense is really that good. So I'll take Maryland to take this game.
Great Penn State pick by you last week against Maryland. We just simply own Maryland. It doesn't matter where we play them. We're going to blow them out by around 40 points, right? Penn State just does not like Maryland. James Franklin doesn't like them. And they're not a bad team. They have a good quarterback, and I think it's Tua's brother that's playing there, right?
Yeah, Tua's brothers.
He's going to take it to a Nebraska's a garbage team. They're a bottom feeder in the Big Ten. 2.5 points is too little.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that wraps up our college plays. We have a conflicting play. I have Penn State +5.5. Rob has Michigan -5.5. I have Minnesota +1.5 against Purdue. Tennessee 1.5 point favorites against Missouri. And Ole Miss +10.5 against Georgia. Sprinkle on the money line. You have Kansas -3.5 against Texas Tech. Washington State money line against Cal. Love that play. And Maryland 2.5 point favorites against Nebraska.
Yeah, lock them all in. 1 unit each. Let's go.
1 unit. All right. We're changing it up for our parlays this week. We're going with a +1,000, a +500. Instead of trying to force any numbers, we decided to go with just a college football parlay and an NFL parlay. You want to give us your NFL one?
We need to win. And it wasn't doing it.
we aren't winning enough. I mean, only how many parlay wins do we have so far? 3
collectively.
3
in 10 weeks.
In 10 weeks. That's got to be better than that, man. So we're switching it up. Rob, what do you got for your NFL parlay?
Yeah, so starting off, I have a 3-leg parlay. Total's going to be +353. We got the Lions money line versus the Chargers, Ravens money line against the Browns, and the Colts money line against the Patriots.
Love all 3 of those plays. Definitely.
Yeah, I think they're all quality teams against teams kind of on the down, you know?
Yeah, Chargers are, I mean, they got 2 wins against the Bears and the Jets. That doesn't mean anything. Now they have to go against a real team like the Lions. Think they're going to catch an L. Ravens easily over the Browns. Colts over the poverty Patriots. Love this parlay.
Yeah. What do you have for your NFL?
All right. I actually am sharing 2 of the plays that you have. I have the Ravens money line against the Browns, Bengals money line against the Texans, Lions money line against the Chargers, Bills money line against the Broncos, and this is going against your play up there, but it's not exactly going against your play, right? The Bears could win by 1, 2, or 3 points, and you still win your spread bet on the Panthers, but the Bears money line over the Panthers. That's probably the riskiest play on that card, but that puts me at +518. Yeah,
I like this play.
It's the Bears are the only questionable one, and they're the ones that basically double my odds on this parlay.
Yeah, the Bears are. They could win this game close. I definitely think it'll be a dogfight between those 2 teams.
Yep. Tyson Badgett, counting on you, brother. I hope I even have your first name right. I do. It's Tyson, not Tyler.
Okay.
We're getting the W.
I'm gonna keep calling them Heisman D2 Heisman.
All right, now our college football. Who you got, Rob?
Yes, I'm going with Missouri. I'm taking the money line against Tennessee. As I stated before, I think they have too much offense, and I'm taking the home team and that great offense. And I'm going to combo that with Florida State -14.5 versus Miami. We're going to give the cash cow a chance to redeem itself in a parlay.
Yeah, Florida State was playing a close game all last week. They almost covered the spread for us in the 3rd and 4th quarter. They just needed 1 more score and they couldn't get it. But yeah, 14.5 against a Miami team who started off really strong but has been struggling since. I like that.
And that's going to be for +276.
Not bad at all. I have some longer odds on my side of things. I'm taking Oregon 14.5 points against that poverty USC defense. That Oregon coach just likes to beat up on flashy teams, right? And USC is one of those flashy teams. They're just going to own the trenches against them. That offensive defensive line battle is going to be owned by Oregon on both sides of the football.
Yeah, I love Oregon to win this game. The only problem I had was that with Washington only beating USC by 10, I don't know if I couldn't justify the 14 for Oregon.
I just think the Oregon defense matches up against that USC offense much better than the Washington defense did. So
yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
That's a great call. That's a great play.
We'll see how it turns out. Next, I have another Pac-12 matchup. Arizona 10.5 point favorites against Colorado. The Colorado hype is completely done. Those players have gotten their money from the NIL. They're just playing out the season until Dion gets more recruits. I don't think they really care about winning.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and the last...
Arizona's been a great team.
Exactly. Arizona has really proven people wrong, and they're ranked now. They are a ranked team, number 23.
Good for them. They've been knocking down some big names.
They deserve it for sure. And lastly, when I was looking at this game, I could not believe my eyes. The total for this game is 28.5. Rutgers versus Iowa. I have Rutgers money line. Better team, simply.
Yeah,
right?
Straight up.
Rutgers coming off of...
not going to put up enough points.
There's no way. Iowa's not going to be able to score. It's just about, is the Iowa defense going to stop them as much as they stopped everybody this year? And I have a hard time betting the over 28.5 because I think they actually might be able to. This might be a 10-7 game. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. I mean,
that's Iowa football.
Great. They just cannot score.
I'm going to look at the Iowa totals this year right now. Count some off to you. 10-7 against Northwestern, 17. 12-10 against Minnesota, 22 points. 15-6 against Wisconsin, 21 points. These are their last 3 games.
Yeah, so yeah, Rutgers has got this.
Exactly.
I love this parlay.
Yep. I think they'll be able to get it done. That puts us at plus 636 as well. Even better odds than my last one.
Yes, I love both of these parlays. I like the Carter parlays. Love them.
Yeah, me as well. Both sides of both parlays, except that Missouri money line against Tennessee. That's the only beef I have with yours.
We'll see on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not very confident about that, so fair warning. But yeah, moving on. Our Frisky 14. We only have 2 differences this week. We both have the Bears. We both have the Colts. Both have the 49ers. Titans, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Lions, Cowboys, Seahawks, Raiders, and Bills. All favorites except the Raiders catching points against the Jets somehow. And our 2 differences lie in the Vikings-Saints game and the Cardinals-Falcons game. I have the Vikings. I think Josh Dobbs, 2 weeks under this system, is going to be able to put up some points. You have the Saints.
Yeah, I don't think you can get heroics twice. I also think that the Saints defense is going to have some more to say about it than the Falcons.
The Saints are a better team than the Falcons. I'm willing to admit that. If Josh Dobbs did that with 3 days of practice with the Vikings offense, imagine what he's going to do with 10 days.
Yeah. Saints are a decent team.
They are. They really are. And then our other one is between 2 poverty franchises. I have the Falcons. You have the Cardinals. Kyler Murray comeback.
Yeah, I think Kyler's just going to come in, and cause a little spark, and that's going to get him through this game.
He can run the ball. That's probably all they need. I just hope that Arthur Smith is going to use Bijan Robinson in this game. That's what I'm counting on. I feel like the fan base is so mad at him for not. He has 1 single rush when the Falcons are within the 5-yard line, bro. How is that possible?
He's your best weapon.
He is, simply put. Just get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If this Michigan stuff goes sour, Jim Harbaugh in Atlanta, that'll be a team that's already set up to kind of win. You know,
Yeah.
he had his on defense.
I saw today the Big Ten told Michigan, there's a chance we're going to punish you for this.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
We'll
I
have
don't
to
want
see.
them to be punished. I don't want them to have that chip on their shoulder where they just go undefeated and don't get to go to the playoffs. They should get to go to the playoffs if they're undefeated, simply put.
I had saw something like that there was like a 60-day period for people to respond to complaints. So I don't think they can do something this season. I don't think they'll happen anything this season.
I
It'll
really
be
hope
next
not.
year.
This team deserves to go as far as they need to go.
They're beating people by 30. They're not stealing 30 points worth of signs. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest here.
Yeah, the games aren't close. Yeah, that wraps up our plays for this week. You got anything else for the people, Rob?
I don't know. Signing out.
Signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching again. We will see you next week. Have some good bets this weekend.